house is a footprint, you know, a yard is a footprint, a homestead is a footprint, a subdivision is a footprint. Well, these are the kind of footprints that it seems like rural areas are trying to define, and the degree to which they can define them helps them say, and by the way, the rest of that stuff is urban, and that means we're not interested in it. So to clarify what is urban that they don't want, they must better clarify what is rural that they do want. Some examples are, in the housing area, it is allowable to put a portable house on a new piece of land, to be there long enough to see what you need to do with the land and to see where you want to build the big house. And there might be some like alternative energy and a few things on a trailer. All of this is movable. None of it's fixed, so it's all does not require a permit. If during the phase that you're trying to put together 20 acres and you need to put a bit of forest here and start an orchard here or whatnot, you're going to need help. During that time, the portable house can then go to the farm helper, or whatever designation like that you want to have, and then when they're through with the heavy work, meaning the major planting and watering to get all the baby trees up to a certain point, they can simply take their portable house and go perhaps to another piece of land. The formal contractual arrangements that way are much simpler, and yet in the meantime they're not commuting to work. They're there in the environment 24 hours a day, and they really can be a big help to the owner of the big parcel. The ag homesteads that we're talking about here, and it's really important in rural terms, housing is not a rural concept. Homesteads are the basic rural concept. People in houses do not have enough room to grow food, do not have enough room in the neighborhood to be putting up portable windmills and things like that. It's just not, that's an urban idea. So a homestead here, we're looking at anywhere from an acre to 20 acres. What we're looking for, instead of trying to talk this person into being an ag business farmer with rows of a single monocrop, big fences and whatnot, no, we're saying take half of your space, whatever it is, from 1 to 20 acres, do something botanically beautiful with it, you know, live up to the state motto of treating the land with the righteousness it deserves, make it beautiful, but save at least half of it to grow something for everybody in your neighborhood and in perpetuity. It's nothing greater than a food forest. You don't have to pick it every year, but if there's a need for a lot of food, people can come on the land and pick it, etc. So we don't want to be judged on whether we sold anything here, you know, on the market and have a receipt. We want to be judged on whether we brought the land to life. It's not a big mansion with 19 acres of grass to mow and 2 cows. You know, this is, you know, a full load of biomass. When you go on the land, it's green. But the concept is this split and no actual commercial sales. If in all the 20-acre parcels you can take half of them and break them into 5 parcels for farmers who are not big-scale farmers, but that the part of their farm can be seen from the roadway that comes in, and the part of that farm is the part that actually services a pickup point for subscription farming, so that they may grow the food that maybe as many as 12, 15, 16 families need, and it is able to be picked up here. Then you have a way to inspect the fact that these people are in fact not just using these as houses and then driving somewhere else to work. They're in fact farming, and the farming is being used in a convenient way for those rest of us who need to go and pick up some fresh food. Our towns in rural districts never need to ever have a traffic light, especially in an emergency when the power goes down and they don't work. We need roundabouts like they have in most of Europe. It just doesn't happen to be common here. We also need to be able to bring our older people closer into town. So there is a place in the rural area for small dwellings, but like 2- and 3-story apartments would be really the right idea. And then these people can walk to the coffee shop. Similarly, in every ag district, we need an ag park. But the park, in addition to have a really first-class recycling system and waste conversion system, we need to now have a small ethanol plant or some kind of plant like that. We need to be able to mount an alternative energy package, on the back of a trailer from there. We need to have facilities for like a small sawmill, and then the use of the sawdust. And then we need a dehydrator for our farmers so that they can take their specialty items, dry them down, put them in a little sealed packet, and mail them somewhere else as a value-added food product. And in this case, we have also, in our town, for example, about 15 people who live on the same road. So what's important about that is that those 15 people could agree, because they live next to each other, that this one would do a really first-class job of collecting fresh water, and this would do several row crops, and this one would have milk from goats. You see the combination? Then if there's an emergency, they really have a full diet. But you can't have an ag business mindset and then wake up one day with an emergency and eat corn for 6 months. No, it doesn't work like that. And it's a simple way to coordinate an effort. And finally, in our neighborhood, because we are concerned in Hawaii with the possibility of shipping stopping, which would stop oil, it would stop food, and if the oil stops, it would stop water. So we're real sensitive to that, but we have the chance to get for instance, in my town in Hawaii, an emergency trailer container has like 4,000 to 14,000 small elements to help people during disasters. Badges, band-aids, badges, gauzes, certain kinds of medicines, etc. And we just happen to have 2 very qualified doctors and emergency rescue people here in town. So this is a set of what you call super green footprints. Every community should be trying some things out like this. We don't need to just agonize about the old zoning, which doesn't fit any of this anymore. We need to get out there and produce new models and then tell the truth about whether they work or not. Certainly, if you have a model like this, you want to be able to see that the farming is occurring. We don't want people cheating on the idea. We don't want the county to have to send their inspector down here to take care of people that can't do it. But we also don't want fat cats with big houses and 2 cows making a shambles of the whole idea that we're an agricultural district. So, footprints. Have your community think of some valuable new footprints that fit the present day needs, not the 50-year-old zoning codes that came from California, and get on with it. Go plant it.